All right, video 2. What was challenging, why and how challenging? I guess my most challenging part was those interactions from afar with people, because there were people at the gym who I know who wanted to say hi, and I was afar, so all I could do was wave and not say hello verbally, and I guess holding back was really hard. Did I experience any communication breakdowns? At one point, I did. The clerk at the pet store was trying to use my communication board, which I absolutely would have allowed her, because she didn't understand that I couldn't use my voice, but she could. But I was able to just use gestures to help her understand, you can talk, I'm going to use this. But she picked up so quickly. She just started talking. She understood what I was saying immediately, even ended the interaction with a thank you, and that was super sweet. And I think that's what surprised me the most was how patient some of these people were. And honestly, I think that clerk was very excited about the experience afterwards. She looked giddy after I left, and I just thought that was super sweet. How was my interaction when I used only the AAC system? It was harder. It was a lot harder. When I was checking in at the gym, I didn't use I tried not to use a lot of facial expressions and gestures. I just tried to stick to the board. And it felt like I was very limited in what I was able to do because this was all I had. And I don't have everything that I have now to communicate the way I'd like. Versus when I didn't, it was easier, and it helped with the communication breakdowns. And the face can communicate a lot, and same with the gestures. Which activity among the 3 did I have a harder time with? Probably interacting with my fiance, because he was trying to test me as hard as he could. He wanted to see a communication breakdown because it was like a game to him. Fortunately, I didn't really have one. When I was talking to him, I had all the things prepared, and it got to the point where he was like, okay, I give up. But yeah, he tried, and that was difficult. And then what were the communication partners' attitudes? They were all so patient, very, very nice about it. And one even was excited. It was honestly probably kinder with unfamiliar partners because they don't know me personally, and they didn't know this was for. And yeah, they didn't know that I have the abilities to use verbal communication. They just thought I was like this was my only means, so they were very patient with me about that, and I thought that was awesome. What do I wish I would have done differently with the communication board for this project? I think I would have gone with the communication board itself. I would like to say I'd put more words on it, but honestly, there were too many words on mine. And I didn't what I would have done was color code the backgrounds. I think that would have made it a lot easier to tell where certain things are. Because even though I have them divided into sections, they're not specific enough. Some of these aren't just quick access. What does that mean? I don't know. I should have color coded specific sections, especially the WH questions versus the pronouns versus the greetings and so forth. I only used my communication board for 3 specific activities. Now, what if you had to use it for 2 to 3 consecutive days? I think it would have been a lot more difficult. 2 to 3 consecutive days, especially with my family, I would have run out of my words immediately. I know I just said that I had too many words, but that was for 3 small interactions. 2 to 3 days, I don't think I'd have enough, especially with my little sister who's learning animals. I think I'd have to put every single animal on this board, and that would be tough. What would I like, or what would you like, or what would that be like for you and your, yep. Differences between using AAC for specific activities. I think I covered that. In other words, what would the AAC system need to have to accommodate your communication needs for 2 to 3 consecutive days? Honestly, I think it would have to be a high-tech AAC system that had like tabs, like the groups tab that we learned, or that the high-tech AAC that we saw in class had. I would probably need to have that to give me more options, because my vocabulary is so much larger. I think I would need that many more words. That paper would I would be carrying around a book basically, and that would be so hard to flip through the pages to get to specific things. And what changes? I also wish I had jokes. Jokes would have been so fun. I love making jokes. I'm so funny, I would like to think, and I just can't find it. And what changes would you make to your communication board then, if any? I don't think I would really change too much about my board. I'm sure there's a lot, and I think I would need like suggestions from other people to make changes, but overall, for the purposes of this project, it worked well. I might have shortened it, but for 2 to 3 consecutive days. I don't know if there are any adjustments that I can make to my communication board that would make it doable to use it for 2 to 3 consecutive days. Yeah, I just don't think it would be I don't think it would be a good fit for me. I think I would need something more high tech to keep up with how often I talk, because girl's a yapper. And yeah, that is everything. All right.